All right,
He's
we are
imagining
live.
things. Hello,
Welcome, everyone.
Hello.
Oh, right, I'm not the GM. I'm not supposed
Hello.
to say hello.
You're welcome to say hello anytime you want. All right, today we begin session number 10 of our GURPS Conan campaign. Before we begin, is there any bookkeeping that needs to be taken care of? People spending points, anything like that?
Well, I stated last time, I went ahead and bumped up Baldur's Brawling by 1.
Yeah, he earned that one.
And now he does an extra point of damage when he punches somebody. Or kicks them, as the case may be. Or hell, even bites them.
So is that Dex +1 or Dex +2?
I don't remember. I have to look. Let me look. Looks like Dex +2.
Cool. Then it must be karate that gives you a bonus at Dex +1 and then another bonus at Dex +2.
Yeah, I think that's right.
And now Baldur will never use Brawling again.
Probably not.
Well, maybe not so. You have been apparently enlisted into the services of Santiddio to be the star attraction.
Yeah, he feels like a star.
Quick recap. Last session we played out a tournament fight at Santiddio. Let me find his picture. This guy at his fighting pit. Baldur fought Pite, and I think you got reasonably messed up in the fight.
Yeah, I was down 10 hit points, I believe. Yeah, I'm down to 9 now.
Currently 9.
Yeah, because I got 1 back. Yeah.
But you took out the fight, and then was approached by Santiddio to see if the team of Baldur and Apentius, or I should say Helgi and Apentius, would like to continue as regulars in his fighting pits. As it so happened, during that same fight, Kurgan encountered the suspicious guy that had been following around
And murdered him.
A fight broke out, and he murdered suspicious guy and his accomplices.
Well, to be fair, that guy kind of deserved it from the crap that he said.
Also, to be fair, Kudo did it.
Baldur would have whacked him too if he said something like that.
So, Kurgan learnt that his sisters are apparently still alive, and had learnt that his brother might be, although his brother might be cut. or at least scarred or dead.
It's a fairly broad range of possibilities.
And just for the fun of it, I'm going to show the pictures of Kurgan's enemies, or his enemy, just because I think it's fun.
Uh-oh. Your host, buddy. It's better to burn out than fade away.
So screwed.
Happy Halloween, sisters.
Kind of fits, actually.
Yeah, I thought it was amusing when I was casting that character. But yeah, you murdered this guy who claimed to have some knowledge of Kurgan's siblings, and we left it there.
And now we're back.
All right, so you are currently in Scandaga. Don't know why it does this, but every time the token gets really big.
Oh, for everybody listening, by the way, we are down one player today because what the heck is his character's name?
Materius.
Materius is off. I want to say he's off visiting his fiance
Getting ready to get married.
again.
Poor fella.
See, I wanna give the speech at the wedding and say, "Welcome back, everybody."
See you next time. Nah, I wouldn't do that.
And he will be at for the next session as well.
Which reminds me that Kurgan will be out next session, the next 2 sessions.
For the next two,
We
so
were not informed of this.
next session we're going to be down 2 people, and then you'll be down the one after that as well.
Yeah, 11/19, 11/26. I will be
Wow.
in Florida.
We're gonna be off the next one anyway.
I'll be driving back from Florida on the 26th.
Okay, well that means next one's probably off then too.
Actually, thinking about that, depending upon, I might be at the motel in Birmingham, game time on the 26th.
I think there's too many other people out for us to, continue that game.
It'd just be 2 others, but yeah,
So we're probably going
Plus,
to
I would
be
have
out
to-
next session as well then, since we're down 2. Unless we want to continue with 3. Anyway, we'll
plus
see how
I'd
it goes.
I'd have to download and get all the installation crap on my laptop. I can't imagine trying to play this on that laptop.
Maybe we'll all die this episode.
Problem with
Well-
Fantasy Grounds and laptops, I find, is screen real estate.
Uh-huh.
That's it. That's it.
I remember
mean, I
Materius
run
and
into
I
that.
and Materius
I
and
run-
I have a date with the local clergy for Mitra for Sunday.
Oh yeah.
Right, and we never saw them again.
Yeah.
Which is why we're out the next 2 sessions.
And the
The
ones
priest
after that.
says, yeah, don't worry about it. We'll take care of them. Yeah. Have some food. My father so-and-so, you're looking awfully hairy these days.
So we will begin in the morning after the fight. Anyone that is injured can make a health roll and recover some hit points if they succeed.
Thought that required like a full day of rest.
Mm-hmm.
We're big damn heroes.
Recover fatigue.
Yes, you'll recover all your fatigue.
Probably, unless you have like 100.
Can Kurgan be treating his kudo veterinary
Nope.
skill?
Not at all. The dog turned into a zombie. It was weird.
You
That
get at
will
this tech level.
definitely require a 24-hour period of rest and food, yada yada.
Yeah, tech level 3, which is what we're at. You only get one roll per week, so it'll take a week, and then you can make a roll.
And I already rolled last week, right?
More than likely.
You rolled for the first aid.
So I still need to roll for the veterinary.
No, you after a week. So you rolled the
Got it.
first aid to recover any hit points, which we've done. Then it's going to be another week before you can do the vet bonus roll.
Got it.
And that's assuming we don't go anywhere.
So where did you guys decide to camp out overnight?
Screw that. I'm going to get a freaking room.
Yeah, I think I'm going to take up the offer to have a room at the Fight Club.
I don't know
All right.
about that, but
Right.
So Santiddio will give lodgings to Apentius and Boulder. In one of his establishments. If you two want to, you're welcome to indulge in the drinking and post fight party. Just by the fact that Boulder won, Boulder will be something of a hero, or he's the current star player. So there'll be lots of drinks and a lot of people hanging around Boulder.
And he
Right,
can't say a thing.
Does Boulder slip and reveal that he can actually speak? How drunk does he get?
apparently he is going to get very inebriated.
Okay. Are you going to try and keep up the charade of not being able to speak?
He failed by 5. I think he's going to probably forget about it. Although if he does speak, it's going to be mostly in northern or Nordheimer because, well, he's kind of intoxicated.
There's a quirk for you. Can't speak Acolonian when he's drunk.
Yeah, let me check my quirk, see if I've got one I can swap out for that.
That's certainly an interesting one.
Can Kurgan use carousing to try to see if he can find out any additional information of the cultist set in Scandaga?
Carousing is not the skill for that. Depending on the situation, you could use carousing. So if you're in a tavern, say asking around if people know anything, you could use carousing to get a bonus to, your streetwise or IQ roll or something like that. So as Balder gets drunk, he will only be speaking Nordheimer, so no one here likely understands what he's saying anyway. So while he can speak, he's babbling. Making strange grunting noises. Is Apentius going to use that opportunity to do anything? The partying or post-fight party?
Oh, yes. Apentius enjoys a good time. So Apentius will be doing what he can to hobnob with various people and see if he can maybe hear about, slaver runs in a just to see as people drink what they start saying.
All right, do you have carousing?
Do I? No.
Are you going to be using an influence skill for this information, or are you just going to rely on your reaction?
Let's see here. Well, I have diplomacy. I have merchant.
Neither of those would really be relevant unless you're trying to negotiate
How can you
something.
not have carousing? You hang out with soldiers.
Yeah. Well, I could try and default that sucker.
It's like the meme
What are you
that was
trying to do?
posted. Can I help you? I don't know. Are you a beer? Carousing defaults to...
It's health -4.
Okay, so you can actually use carousing for a good reaction.
Yeah, because I don't think fast talking is going
This
to do
doesn't
anything.
work with direct requests for aid or information. So you can roll on default, but if you fail, it's probably not going to work well for you. Unless your default is pretty good.
Yeah. And reaction mods for my social stigma and voice.
I'll give you a temporary bonus of +1 because you are cool by association to Boulder.
You're not pretty like Balder, but that's okay.
Well, if I'm rolling, I'm rolling at -4 off health plus -4 for being the dwarf and having a disturbing voice with a +1 for the winning team. I'm rolling at -7, I think.
Okay, side note
Goodness.
for the GM for the future. At some point, Apentius and Balder need to get body swapped.
That doesn't
That
fit
can be
Conan.
arranged.
Body swapped.
I'll work something out.
But
So
what
that
the
they
heck?
have to swap their characters.
I'm more than happy to try this at -7. I feel lucky.
All right, go ahead. So are you doing the carousing or are you doing the reaction?
Ooh, you know what? Let's just do reaction. It'll be at -3.
All right.
Remember,
Make
that
your roll.
one's supposed to be high.
Here we go.
All right, make it happen.
Look
Damn.
at that.
That was like a crit.
Yeah, that's like the one time you wanted to roll your 17.
Hell, excellent.
Well, good
Everybody
first
loves a
roll.
little guy.
Despite you not being a very carousing sort of person, you managed to pull this off. Clearly, it's Boulder's influence.
I piggyback off him in all circumstances.
All right, so what sort of information specifically are you chasing?
I definitely would like to know if anyone's talking about sort of any kind of illicit activity where they're actually going off and trying to get slaves. You know, do they buy wagons, and are those wagons being used for illicit activities? And somewhere in all of that, would they actually, someone would drop the words, "Yep," and we've gone and raided villages in the province.
Okay, so you will learn that Santiddio does trade in slaves. He uses a lot of slaves. And he has a particular MO where he will lend people money, like a loan shark, knowing that these people will not be able to repay their debts, and then he has an arrangement with the magistrate to forcibly indenture these people.
Very
It's a thing that he's known for, so much so that only those that are really desperate come to him for monetary loans or things like that.
interesting.
But he does sort of use that as a tool to acquire slaves.
Okay, that's solid information.
As to like raiding people and like taking them as slaves, that's not something that you're hearing. So there's certainly not a link between what you've encountered so far and what the Zingaran sort of does. But he does certainly deal in slaves. He does have prison wagons.
Okay, so not exactly what we experienced, but then I don't remember us questioning these people if somehow they got themselves embroiled in some sort of a blackmail scheme of some kind or extortion scheme.
They certainly didn't mention anything like that.
All right, that'll be kind of how
And
Pentious spends his evening.
You probably would assume that wasn't the case with them, because if so, then they would have known. If they defaulted on their debts, they would have known that he would be coming for them, and they would have told you, we're here somewhat legitimately, but it was a surprise to them.
Right.
And
Maybe
that certainly
they're very
wouldn't.
deceptive.
that certainly wouldn't explain why just a farmhand was also taken.
Yeah.
And I think that's about the most you get on that regard. He does.
Well, that's
Certainly does things that are shady, but not too shady, or at least if it's really shady, it's not generally known.
okay.
I think I seem to recall, Daniel. I think she was staying out of the city, outside.
I believe you actually brought her in. You're escorting her everywhere. Everywhere that you go. That's my understanding. She's quite happy to stay outside the city if that's what you want.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But she can sort of pass for a really rough sort of fighter type, because she looks pictish but not.
All right, so what do we have right now? We have identified Santiddio as the probable owner of the cart. We don't know anything about the mercs that were driving the cart or escorting the cart. And we still don't know where they were going.
Give me an IQ roll for Apentius as well. The rest of you, you're not going to be at the after party, unless Apentius and Boulder try and swing something.
We weren't invited.
Thank you.
Wow. Way to go from two extremes.
Wow, that's amazing roll.
He sees everything.
I think that's the first time I've actually ever seen a 3.
Wow, really?
Yeah. I've
Huh.
seen 4s, but I think this is the first time I've actually seen a 3.
You've probably seen a 3. Okay, so given that roll, you do actually learn a bit more that does somewhat relate to what you're trying to find out regarding the farmsteaders. There was a guy that Santiddio uses a lot. He is a lieutenant in the Aquilonian Guard, so he's a soldier. This lieutenant and Santiddio have this arrangement where the lieutenant is something of a problem solver. So while it's not official Aquilonian business, Santiddio will use him on the side. And there have been a few calls for mercenaries to enlist in some paid work. And this has been fairly recent.
Am I able to
Maybe
get
we
a
should
name
sign
of her
up.
lieutenant?
With a role like that, actually, let's have the universe. So just roll a universe reaction. The lieutenant is a dark-haired guy, and he has a facial scar. You will recognize this guy by description. Let me bring up a picture.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Well, actually, technically, we never really met him. That was just that after we went past the burial mound is when you had the dialogue of the cut scene. So we never really actually met this person.
Oh, okay. That was the episode that I missed. So makes sense
Right.
why I'm not reacting to that. I'm going, okay, it's a dude.
But you have encountered, in doing your duties and stuff, you would have encountered this guy at least once or twice. How well you know him is still up for debate.
Okay.
Right. Well,
So he has been enlisting mercenaries for work,
side jobs for
side jobs.
Santiddio.
Okay. Well, I will. I think I'll just spend the evening gathering this information, and we'll happily report it back whenever the group reconvenes.
All right. So the rest of the group, I assume that you're going to stay in an inn or a someplace here in Scandaga.
Or whatever.
Have you sent Danu out, or are you keeping her close?
She was not part of the. She was not part of the Fight Club thing, so I imagine she's probably not directly invited.
Plus, she doesn't like any of you. She likes me.
She's somewhat taken by Boulder.
So maybe she was in the fight club with everybody else and got to see me kick the crap out of the dude. I don't know where she's at after that.
If that's the case, then it's fair that she would have been hanging around with Boulder and Apentius down below. All right, so we'll assume that she's with you. She's at the after party, but she's sitting away and being very uncomfortable. Parked herself sort of in a corner, out of the way.
If that's the case, once I collect this information, I'm going to go talk to her to ask her if she recognizes a guy by this lieutenant's description.
She will nod and say it could be him.
Excellent.
I gotta look at my disadvantages, see if there's anything that's bad. Drunk. -2 to Dex and IQ. -4 to self-control, except to resist cowardice. Blah, blah, blah. Okay.
So the rest of you, you stay in a tavern or an inn. Is there anything that you're going to be doing during that night?
I'm
Nothing
looking something
special.
up. Hold on. Click,
Kurgan
click,
would
click.
probably be.
You were looking for information about the Cult of Set.
Correct.
You wanted to use carousing.
Yeah.
So
with,
you are
maybe the people at the end just offer up some drinks, loosen their tongues, ask them subtly about the cult of Set, see if they know anything.
all right. So tell me how much you spend on drinks.
How much to get +3?
He's going to spend all of his money. He doesn't have any money
To
left.
get +3, that's quite a lot.
See? All of his money. It's all gone.
Okay,
Well, I'm
that
just asking
particular
how much.
that's a case of using the carousing skill for the +2. I don't remember what the actual cost associated with that is.
Because it's basically you're buying the people drinks to
Well, yeah.
improve your skill. So how much, how much would the percentages be? Like if I want +1, +2, +3,
It's just a
much pay?
+2 in that particular case.
I'll
So-
take it as bribes. So if you're working the crowd and you want a +3, I'll just make up some numbers. So for every multiple of 10, so if you start at 10 copper or 10 GURPSes, you'll get +1. And then if you up that to 100, then you get +2. If you up that to 1,000, you get +3. 1,000 would of course be, drinks on the house for everyone.
I don't know if I'd go to 1,000. I'd probably go 10, 100, 500, then maybe 1,000.
I would say 100 GURPS back in that day would be enough to pay for everybody for a night.
Yeah, if you're doing the bribe thing, then you wouldn't use the carousing bonus.
Well, you could use the bribe
No,
for bonuses.
No, they cancel each other out. They're basically the same thing. The carousing bonus is assuming that you're buying drinks.
Yeah, so carousing, I'm in the inn and I'm going around, hey, buying some drinks for people, asking them subtle questions about, hey, do you know anything about the cult of Set? What have you heard? Anything, any rumors, any good rumors out there? Trying to glean any information that would help to pinpoint one where the cult of Set might be congregating in Scandaga.
You just want to attack them, don't you?
Oh, and my sisters might be nearby. Let
me just quickly math something here. So if you're going to do a +1, that's 5%. So if you spend 30 GURPSes, you'll get a +1 bonus on whatever roll you want to apply it to. If you spend 5 times that, you'll get +2. And if you spend 10 times that, you'll get +3. And so on.
So 150 GURPS, 30 times 5, 100.
I'll let you use that +2 however you want to use it. It'll manifest in whatever way you want. And then you can also use the carousing. If you successfully make a carousing roll, then you can use a +2 there as well.
I'll spend 30 to at least get the +1. So I'll be buying drinks for people. So would it be trying to do the carousing first and then using diplomacy second, or
Okay.
or carousing and then intelligence IQ to see what I glean from what I gather from the crowd?
And so if this bonus is claimed, don't also allow the bonus for carousing. So in this case, I guess this bonus would be a bonus to your carousing roll. And then the +2 carousing bonus that you get would be a reaction roll. Okay, so for whatever reaction roll or influence skill you want to use, you'll get a +2 on top of that because of that carousing roll.
If I have diplomacy at 12, is that better than using just standard reaction?
Well, diplomacy is used for negotiation, so you're just asking information. So in that case, it's not going to be helpful.
So just regular reaction roll. Okay.
I will probably allow, I could see a case for using interrogation, but it's not like a police interrogation. You're just subtly interrogating people.
I don't have interrogation. I do have tactics. I have soldier.
No.
Would soldier work?
All right, so give me a reaction roll +2, and then any other pluses that come with your character. So you could add a plus for being in the ranges if you identify yourself as being such.
If I think it'll help, I will. So, yeah.
Right, so you're at +3 from carousing and ranges.
Jeez.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
But not many people are too talkative. The only information that you get is that there are some cultists, well, some followers. They're not particularly mentioned as cultists, but some followers that are in town, and some people find them annoying and a blasphemy with respect to Mitra, which is commonly worshipped here.
Bummer. Okay, after that,
They should take their snake worship back to Stygia, where it belongs.
I agree. Do you by chance know where they congregate?
You'll get blank stares, or people are not interested in talking about the subject.
Maybe some conflicting answers too. It's over there on the west. No, it's not. It's on the east.
But people generally don't like you.
Well, they like me from the carousing.
You
They
smell like wet dog.
Maybe.
One dude goes, Kogan, you stink.
Sniff myself. What do you mean? After that, I would probably just head back up to my room and take care of Kudo.
Okay. You can scratch off, if you have a room here in the inn, you can scratch off 10 GURPSes for a private room, and 5 if it's a common room.
private room.
Apentius and Balder, your accommodation's taken care of. Santiddio looks after his own.
That's why I hang with the man.
In the morning, those of you that are in the inn, when you're having breakfast, you will hear some gossip from a table over. Someone saying, did you hear? Last night, someone was in the streets, was ripped apart. It was found ripped apart by some animal or something.
Hey, Kurgan, you got a bloody mouth this morning?
No.
Which reminds me, sufficient time has gone past for Materius and Kurgan
Dun dun dun.
to have acquired new traits. The first
Doom. Doom.
the first thing is your IQ will drop by 1 point.
Nope.
So that includes if your IQ drops. So you're going to have to note, note what your original values are. But your IQ, your will, your perception, and all that, and all your related skills will drop by the same amount.
Ouch.
Mm-hmm.
You will also acquire the ham-fisted.
Didn't they already get that?
Yeah, we already got the ham-fisted.
And you also got the berserk, right?
Yes, but I think it was at 15.
Correct. So it is now at 12.
Yep. You guys we're gonna have to put you down.
And if you don't have night vision already, you will have night vision 2.
So berserk at what?
12.
And we already got the ham-fisted, and now we have night vision. Okay.
At 2. And again, you are more hairy.
Was ham-fisted leveled?
It's 1. Ham-fisted 1. So your hands are beginning to sort of, you can't open them fully. You don't have the same sort of dexterity, and it's it's almost like you've got a knuckled fist. I think we determined that it doesn't affect your fighting.
That's correct. It's just like fine
Just
motor
fine motor
stuff.
skills.
It
Yeah.
does affect fast draw.
Yeah, so it does affect him, but
And the changes will be coming faster.
Eventually, Kudo will be smarter than him.
Well, the IQ of Kurgan will eventually become 6, so that's the same as Kudo. Does the character sheet actually update your IQ-based skills?
I don't think so.
Hmm.
Be nice if it
Well,
does.
I guess it depends on whether or not they're set up properly.
Actually, it looks like it did.
Never mind.
10, 10, 11. Yeah, it did. It lowered them.
Yeah, if it has the defaults on there, then it should work.
The one thing it didn't update was when my strength went up, my HP didn't go up with it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
So it
that's
did
not a
fix that.
calculated thing.
I have to use the GCA.
Yeah, so you'll hear there's some gossip that someone was killed overnight. The body was found in the street, and it looks like it's been ripped apart and devoured by some beast.
And then looted.
Probably looted by the people that found it. Oh, look, there's someone that's been killed. What's this? All right, so your plan.
My plan is to see if I can meet up with Santiddio.
That's not a problem at all. He will
He's right over
actually
there.
he will actually meet you in the morning, sort of late morning after people start waking up. He will organise a feed for you. The feed is quite good. And he will say, I trust you had a good night last night.
Why did it roll that?
An excellent night, Santiddio. Excellent. Your hospitality is very fine indeed.
I hear that Helgi was quite a hit.
Yes, he always is when
Uh-huh.
he gets the ale downrange.
So, have you thought some more about my offer?
I have. I'm wondering, where do you need a man of Helgi's stature and skill in your team?
He says, well, just as it so happens, I could make use of you and Helgi this morning.
Oh, really? Even me?
Of course, we can't have... I need someone that can speak instead of babbling.
Well, that I can do. What sort of work do you need us to do?
He will reach into his jacket and he'll pull out a folded bit of parchment. And he says, this here is an order from the magistrate. There is a family that owes me something. I need someone to go pick them up. They should have delivered themselves unto me voluntarily, but it seems that they are perhaps trying to flee.
Understood.
He will hand you the paper.
And is it written in Aquilonian?
It is, and it's basically a decree from the magistrate that entitles Santiddio to claim a particular family, and the family name and members are given for a default on a debt of 1,000 GURPSes. My apologies to the bird.
I'm impressed.
It's coming right for us.
I'm impressed. The magistrate makes this. The magistrate's signature makes this far easier.
Yes, it does. I need them to come uninjured, preferably. But if you must use some force to convince them that convince them of their obligation, then by all means. But I think just Helgi's appearance will be enough to sway their judgment.
I'm sure it will. He's made many a low life quiver at the sight of him.
Good.
That was
So,
easy.
So I will. Is there any way I don't have body language, but is there any way I can try to assess whether or not, maybe just by, I just want to see if I can notice if Scandidio is sort of skeptical of us in some way, some measure.
That would definitely be a body language. The other alternative is perhaps you could ask him a question and detect lies if you have the skill.
Sadly, I do not. So I think
it
I will
defaults to perception -6.
No, actually, body language defaults to detect lies -4 or psychology.
No, I mean
-4.
detect lies. I think that defaults to IQ -6 or perception -6.
So it does. Perception -6.
So you could ask or phrase a question such that you'll get your answer if you detect that he's lying or not.
Okay. I hope our carousing last night or our partying last night didn't in any way dissuade you from offering us this opportunity. I really appreciate it. Sometimes Helgi can get a little out of control, and I got out of control myself a little with the drink.
No, of course not. What you do in your free time is entirely up to yourselves. I don't hold that against you at all.
Oh, you're thank you. I appreciate it. Appreciate it.
I trust that you'll keep my best interests at heart. You can make the roll into the box.
All right. That was a -6.
Yes, IQ or perception -6, whichever one it was.
Well, so it goes.
Well, that should have been into the box, but
Oops.
I'll get you to roll that again in the box because you don't know the result.
Presumably.
Test roll.
Okay. He is not being truthful.
The plot thickens.
Or you rolled a crit fail.
The plot thickens.
Or you rolled crit success.
Two in the same day.
Well, hey, I can do failures one after another, so maybe I can do successes.
Yeah, that doesn't happen.
Okay. Well, that's fine. I will have to go with that that understanding that I am now a little suspicious of this.
Changes
he will
nothing.
leave.
I'm always suspicious.
He will leave and say, if that can be done before the day's out, I will be much appreciated.
Does Helgi have body language? Or Helgi, does Balder have body language?
Is he even there? And also, no. He does not
Okay,
have. He's not that kind of guy. He doesn't have body language or detect lies.
Okay. So
He's got brawling knee strike. Axe.
Well,
He can ask him a question.
I'll slap Helgi on the thigh and say, "Come on, Helgi, we got work to do."
Balder will grunt. He's getting tired of this whole play acting crap. I should think about putting a point in acting.
Well, there's probably grounds for spending a point in acting.
May have to give it some thought later.
Are you meeting up with the rest of the group, or are you going this alone?
So once we're sort of out of earshot, can I don't have observation, but I'd like to somehow attempt, even if it's by default a roll, to see if we're being followed.
That is a perception roll. You can make that into the box.
If Apentius and Balder stayed here, where did Danu sleep?
In the same lodgings. Probably in Balder's room.
Common area.
On the floor.
Say no more. Maybe not on the floor. We'll never tell.
Interesting rolls.
Oh, what were we doing? Perception?
Perception to see if you're being followed.
Why did you roll IQ? Oh, is that the... Right, yeah, gotcha.
Balder can make.
Do I have
perception roll as well.
observation? Nope, I don't have observation. He's clearly not that kind of dude.
All right, so Apentius, you are convinced that someone is following you. Balder, you do not see this person following.
And as I become aware of this, I will smutter under my breath so that Balder and Danu can hear me. I believe we're being followed. Let's just not meet up with the others.
Ain't nobody following us. You're crazy. Are you drunk?
No, I just get the feeling we're getting set up.
Danu will also say, I do not see anyone following.
Sure. Take his side. Well, fine. I think we're being followed, but somehow I think we should act on this, and then I think, well, I don't know, maybe we should try and tip off the others.
Maybe you should have Balder set up an ambush for you.
So what's the plan?
Or if you guys want to go and tell the others what happened, I'll make my way over. Does this document describe where to find these people?
Yes.
Why aren't we going?
Well,
Yeah.
I can head over to where they are if you want to get the others.
Yeah, I don't want to send you off by yourself on a potential bad mission like that. And also, are we sure that isn't the people we just helped escape? Not
Nope.
to mention, I'm not particularly enthusiastic about the whole grabbing some people and taking them in, turning them over to make them prisoners, slaves, whatever.
Especially a whole family for a mere, month and a half's income.
If that was the
Seems
contract.
a bit of a raw deal.
I'm not saying I'm going to bring them back to Santiddio, but perhaps we can find out a little bit more about how he operates by talking to this family.
Well, let's wander a little bit. Make sure that you can get, or we can lose your imaginary pursuers.
I mean, I'd like to find out who sets these people up, and perhaps that can lead us to the to this lieutenant.
Well, you know where to find the lieutenant. If he's, at his post.
Are we to bring these people to the lieutenant or right back to Santiddio?
To Santiddio. Santiddio hasn't mentioned the lieutenant at all. Any word of the or knowledge of the lieutenant you've had from, asking around and finding out what's been going on.
Is this lieutenant here in Scandaga, or we just know of him in general?
You know of him in general, and he is one of the guys in, I think it's Velitrium. One of the soldiers in Velitrium.
Okay. Then that's fine. Let's all go back. Let's go back and get together then. If you think I'm not being followed or we're not being followed, fine. But if we are, this is on your big head, Balder.
Yeah, Balder thinks you're just paranoid.
All right, so I'll take it you meet up with the rest of the group. So sometime in the morning, you will all gather at some place.
This
Yay!
place seems very generic to me.
Should probably bring up the map. Scandaga.
Well, he said bring up the map. I'm like, crap, are we getting into a fight already?
Bring up the map!
I guess Apentius was right. We were being followed.
Aha!
Yeah. Hey, have you guys heard the rumors about the the guy who was ripped apart by monsters in the street?
Yeah, I heard that. It was weird. Some kind of man-beast thing or something.
Why, Apentius and Materius, you guys are looking awfully hairy today.
So you all in unison turn towards Kurgan and Materius?
Yeah, where were you last night?
It's in my room.
Why are you spitting up hair?
Do you have? Can you provide some proof of that? Do you have witnesses?
There's a human finger stuck in Kurgan's armor.
Yeah,
Or
right.
Materia. No, it's Materius because Andricus isn't here to defend himself.
What part of Scandaga is that family living in?
In the farmland area.
Okay.
So
So-
outside the sort of palisade that runs around the place.
So I'm going to explain the arcing story here of what I found last night, what we've been asked to do today, and that I think we were being followed. And obviously, I think Scandiddio's maybe testing us, our loyalty here. And I've not mentioned anybody else aside from Balder and I being in working together.
Also, while he's
It's-
talking, Balder isn't paying a lick attention.
Stands to reason that that family who settled that we rescued may have been from here. Although I would think they would have mentioned that. Did they actually say where they came from?
They didn't. The only thing that you know is that they took up the offer of free land.
And they weren't here. They were in Viterium, wherever, Valyrium,
Valyrium.
wherever. That place.
Well, we left
Hey,
them.
I'm from Nordheim. I can't speak this stupid language.
Well, we left them in Valyrium, but that's not where we got them, for lack of a better term.
No,
but
but if
I
we're
don't think
going
we ever
to,
asked where they came from.
But if we're going to someplace in Scandaga, that means we're not grabbing the same people.
No, that's not the point. The point is if they were from here and they ran, then somebody here might know them.
I'm of half a mind that we go find the family. We've got proof that the magistrate is doing this. I think we have enough evidence to bring this to the governor and allow the governor to consider what's going on here.
Mm-hmm. Now, at the very least, we need to find out how this family got themselves indebted to Santiddio. It may come to pass that the other family that we rescued may have a similar story.
Depending on how much money they owe, I may very well wish to try to pay off their debt and at least get them free from his clutches.
Just so we don't go down the wrong rabbit hole. Apentius, given the information that he's gathered, Apentius is fairly certain that the situation with the other family is not the same. Simply because, they didn't mention anything like that when you captured them. They were completely surprised that they were captured. Plus, they were, there was murders that happened, and it was staged to look like Picts. If they were being taken in for indentured servitude, then they would take the whole family. They wouldn't be killing off people. They'd be like killing off an asset. So, Apentius thinks that link is probably unlikely. Not completely out of the question, but very unlikely. A different situation.
I think Santiddio is a link, perhaps, obviously, in something perhaps maybe he's not even aware of, but clearly this lieutenant is doing something for him. And it seems to me that Danu remembers what this guy looks like. I get the sense that this lieutenant may be doing something more on the side than perhaps what even Santiddio understands.
Kurgan's like, I don't care. I just want to kill some set guys.
Actually, Kurgan's kind of right now. He's waiting for Temple of Mitra on Sunday.
What is today, anyhow?
Saturday.
Ah, okay. Well, here's to hoping they don't fail and make it worse.
So Boulder is going to be so Mrs. Reynolds.
Surprise! And he'll be like, "What? That's stupid. Why would you do that?"
That's some good Bible.
Damn it! Now I kind of want to watch Firefly again.
So, are we going to go and see this family, or what do you all think?
Still good to know.
Well, we need to hang around at least for one more day, so I'm game.
Now we need to find out if what he's doing is legal. So I'm certainly interested to know the circumstances.
He will make it legal.
Is there any way we can, just out of our own general knowledge as rangers, know that whether this is acceptable practice?
It's probably a little underhanded, but he has a letter from the magistrate saying that it's legal. You're questioning that this is something that he does as for business, and then he'll utilize these slaves for a time as free labor, basically.
Okay. Well, let's go find this family.
All right. Well, you're heading down the streets towards the north, heading towards the farmland area where you're told this family can be found. As you walk through the sort of market area, there's a woman. Let me just get the image.
She's gonna point at Kirkin and Materius and shout, "Unclean!"
Oh boy.
What? Everybody looks
Cushite.
like that around here.
She will be just standing out front of what appears to be a shop of some sort. There's, herbs and things like that sort of hang inside the shop. She'll just be standing there looking to attract customers. You guys are just walking past, and she will lock eyes on Materius. So you'll all see this. She just sort of locks eyes on Materius, and it's like the color just sort of goes from her face. And she sort of gasps and is in shock, sort of stumbles back in sort of fear, and then runs into her shop.
Pinchas will. So we all see this.
You will all see this, and like she just lets out a little bit of a shriek and sort of runs back into her shop as if she's like terrified of the sight of Materius.
Man, what did he do?
Pinchas will make a note of the location of this shop for possible future reference.
You
Balder's
might want to roll
curious.
curiosity.
Balder's curious,
Lycus.
and he's going to fail the curious.
Oh, this is true.
What did you do, Materius? Go over there and knock on the door and say, what did he
And
do?
in usual fashion, Materius is fairly quiet and just sort of shrugs. So you're going to the
Shrugs and
shop?
goes, burp.
Absolutely.
Well, if he's going up to the door, Apinchus is going up to the door.
You got curious too, don't you?
I do. That's why I'm going up to the door.
Yeah, because I got it at 12, and I'm like, I failed it.
Well, you walk up to the door of her establishment. There's just a leather sort of sheet that blocks the doorway. You push the leather flap aside and step in, and you can see that she's in the back. What you see is a small place. There's the odor of like burning incense of some sort that is fairly strong. Probably goes to your head a little bit. There's, eye of newt and all sort of, in quotes, witch paraphernalia around the place. You see her in the back, kneeling on some cushions, and she's holding some sort of religious symbol or some sort of symbol that's on beads, and she's praying. She appears definitely scared.
I look at Balder and say, do you want to talk to her or should I?
Hello. Did he do something to you?
Miss. Excuse us, miss.
You'll see that she'll sort of look up from her prayers and she'll sort of stumble back and she's, it cannot be.
What cannot be?
Give me just a general reaction roll. Anyone can do it. Who hasn't
Go
rolled
for
yet?
it, Balder.
Bernie
Go for
hasn't
it, Balder.
done a roll, so
Bernie.
Bernie can roll it.
Nice.
And she counters with fireball.
She says, please, just leave me alone.
Okay.
Can we use diplomacy to try to change the reaction?
Can I use diplomacy or fast talk?
Diplomacy, if you can find an angle where you're negotiating, fast talk is probably more appropriate.
I'm going to approach her with my hands up saying, we mean you no harm. We mean you no harm. We're just very curious about what you saw that scared you so.
I
my
could give you a chicken. I love how that just stopped everybody.
Is Boulder walking around with his chicken?
He had two, although I think he ate one of them.
So you have a chicken under your arm.
Absolutely. That's the first attack. You throw the chicken at the person.
We mean you no harm. We just are very curious about why you had the reaction you did. And
Materius will sort of walk in the room and you can see that her anxiety about the whole situation sort of ramps up a little bit, and she points, him, I have seen him with the beast.
Ben just turns around. Get the hell out of here, Materius. You're not making this better.
I think she's talking about your curse. Interesting that she didn't see Kurgan.
If Kurgan walks in, what does she do?
Fireball.
There's no particular reaction. It's definitely Materius.
Ma'am, we're trying to find out what's wrong with our friend. Can you not possibly help us? We mean you no harm.
All right, give me this fast talk roll.
That's a diplomacy, isn't it? He's trying to calm her down. He's not trying to fast talk. Because we really don't mean her any harm.
Yeah, I go for diplomacy, but fast talk diplomacy, either or.
Which one's higher?
They're the same.
Pentius?
They're the same level, so.
All right.
So it's success by 2.
So you calm her down, and you can see that she clutches to these beads and this symbol, and like says a few, words in whispers, obviously finishing her prayer or whatever. But she will calm, and she will say, "I saw him in my dream. He was with the beast, and the beast was killing in the streets."
Technically, that's not wrong. Although Balder doesn't know anything about this crap, but that's technically not wrong because he was killing alongside Kudo.
What did the beast look like?
And then Kudo lunges in and rips her throat out. Surprise! Surprise! Kudo's the really bad guy.
She shakes her head. It was a horror. It was dark and shadow.
And teeth.
And teeth.
But my friend here looked like this. He wasn't different.
No, he was just there with the beast.
Can you describe this beast? Can you draw the beast?
We're going to start calling Kudo the beast. He's no longer Kudo. We're like, come here, beast.
It wasn't a dog. It was some creature.
He was no
not a
dog.
dog. He's a wolf.
It was a demon. A demon of dark and shadow. And he was there.
And this was a dream.
She just sort of nods. Last night, I had the dream.
Question for you. Are you able to detect spirits?
What an odd question to ask.
Give me a reaction roll. She says,
Get the hell out. You smell like a dog.
I am in tune with the spirit world. Yes.
Do you by chance sense anything off about me?
Aside from your terrible body odor?
She just shakes her head.
Spirit world.
All I know is some kind of smoky thing entered me and never left. So
Did you see the
Maybe
size
she
of those
knows.
chickens?
Well, Materius is possessed by the
Do
GM
you-
at the moment.
Do you say that out loud?
yes.
So she will move towards Kurgan, and she'll start saying, "Get out! Get out!" And she starts pushing Kurgan out.
But I need help.
I cannot
need
help
help.
you.
Who can?
She
If you
says,
can't help,
"Get
who
out!
can?"
Get out! Go to whichever god you worship. Get out!"
So Mitra can help me?
Seek his blessing. Just get out of my shop.
Kurgan will leave. Darius, you might want to come with me too.
So, you guys doing anything else?
I will apologize.
She just sort of ushers Kurgan out when Kurgan asks about spirits and stuff like that.
Penchus will say, I understand you're upset. I'm sorry he barged in. He's desperate. He desperately wishes to be cleansed. You can understand why.
She doesn't really respond to that. She then just sort of says, "If he is here, then my dream was a vision."
Have you had visions before?
She'll nod.
And what happens with your visions?
Bad things.
She says, "Like this one, bad things will happen."
Do you believe if he goes to the Temple of Mitra that he could possibly be cleaned and cured?
She's confused as to who you're talking about.
Kurgan.
She says,
She was talking about Mitarius.
She
Or
says,
Materius.
"I don't know. If he needs help, he should pray to his gods."
Very well. Well, we're sorry to have upset you. Do you want a chicken?
Sure, I'll have some chicken.
So yeah, as soon as she basically did the whole, hey, she's Cirrus, whatever. Balder is going to absolutely cease treating this as an entire joke, and will definitely present her with the chicken. And I have no idea what the Nordheimers do in this regard, but some sort of as he's leaving, he's going to give her some sort of hand gesture to indicate respect and wish her well, ask her not to look upon the future poorly for him.
If you give her the chicken, she will look surprised, and then she will go amongst her stuff, grab a handful of some sort of powdered material, and she moves her hand to sort of, over, or reaches up, because Balder's huge.
He's having to crouch because it's probably pretty low in here.
So she'll reach up as to, place this powdered material like on Balder's shoulder. Is Balder reacting at all? Do you let her continue what she's doing?
Yes. You don't interfere when a Volga is doing her thing.
So she will then sort of open her hand and let the powder material fall on Boulder's shoulder, and then she just sort of wipes it down, and then moves her hand to the other shoulder, and then sort of wipes it down and sort of runs this or smears this material on Boulder's shoulders. It will protect you. Thank you for your gift.
You're
Oh,
like,
he needs
like
protection.
Knuckles.
So as we leave, I just say to Balder, "Oh yeah, you need protection."
You are trying to get me into fights.
Oh, I thought she was talking about the chicken.
Chicken?
I think he's trying to be funny.
He was
Oh.
trying to be funny.
I get it. Okay, so as you guys leave the shop, you will see her sort of just peering out a small slit of the flap that sort of covers her door, and just sort of watches you leave.
Any reaction to Kudo?
No. You can tell, no need for body language or anything like that. She's freaked out by the sight of Materius. Obviously, she's seen, having never seen Materius before, but she recognizes and has seen Materius in this dream she claims she's had, which just sort of confirms that her dream wasn't a dream, it was perhaps a premonition of some beast, killing in the streets.
Does Materius have any memory of last night at all?
I don't know. Is Materius a drinker? I don't recall.
I don't either.
I
He's
don't
a
think he would
monster.
have. I don't think he would have got blackout drunk or anything like that. So he will remember most of the night. He'll say, "Yeah, I was drinking at the table with the rest of you, and we ate, we partied, we wenched, and then we went to bed."
All right, come on now. He doesn't talk that much.
Imposter.
I can't help but to envision Andricus up in Michigan right now, suddenly shivering. It's like I feel like someone's talking about me.
And you didn't have like anything wrong this morning when you woke up, like blood where blood shouldn't be.
Are you accusing me of something?
Being a monster.
Well, clearly the woman in there was.
Are you a monster?
Balder.
She didn't say I was the monster. She said I was with the beast.
Oh yeah. I have to look at Kudo and go, "Are you a monster?"
Kudo
Yes.
looks back and says, "Of course not."
Very good. He said so. Wait a minute. That's exactly what somebody who was the monster would say.
Exactly.
Okay, well, we better get you to the temple on time.
All right, so you continue out of the city to the north and into the farmlands. As you approach, you will, no need for a perception roll, but as you get closer, you can see that there is a cart. So the two-wheeled wagon variety. No, Kudo is not that. So the there's a like two-wheeled cart being loaded up with stuff. The cart is an ox-drawn cart, so there's an ox that's hitched to the cart, and you can see that, somewhat in a rush is a family that looks to be packing up to get out of Dodge.
Well, now, our timing is perfect.
Who do you send in first? Because they're going to bolt.
Well, then I think some of you should perhaps go around and be prepared to waylay them if they bolt.
Kurgan will not target civilians.
It's not about targeting civilians, it's about blocking their way.
Kurgan and Kudo can sneak around the back.
All right, Kudo. Don't kill anybody.
You can make
I
a
will
stealth roll.
Don't let your man kill anybody either.
Appentis will ask openly, does anybody see anything amiss?
It looks to be a peasant farm, just like any other. Obviously these people aren't well off. But yeah, they're just obviously packing up to get out of town. Kurgan, you seem to be able to get around the back unnoticed. At the present, the rest of you are sort of not within sort of notice range. They haven't noticed you.
Well, my gut tells me we're still being set up, but maybe not. I just think keep your eye out for hostiles.
Which one of us is threatening?
And Appentis will say, I'm going to come at them from whichever way their horses are facing, not from behind.
They don't have horses. They've only got a single ox and cart.
Yeah, they're not going very fast.
So Appentis will start to approach from the front of the ox. And if somebody wants to accompany him, well, fine. Balder, excellent.
All right, when you approach, your appearance certainly startles them. The sort of father, husband of this family, he will shout to the rest of the family, go, get inside the house.
And Appentis will raise his arms and hand, or one of his hands, and say, "Hail and well met. I'm Appentis."
The guy will sort of grab a pitchfork and step up and says, "What do you want?"
Are you? And then I'll blurt out the name on the magistrate's form.
So you pull out the paper and read from the paper.
Can I do an IQ check to see if I can just do it from memory?
Sure. Yeah. You read out his name, and you can see he, he understands probably why you're here. No need to sort of roll body language. That's fairly clear.
We're
He
from
says,
Publishers Clearinghouse.
yes, that's me.
Well, then I'd like a word with you.
He says, I can't do it.
What can't you do?
I can't go with you.
Well, I'm not asking you to go with me. I'm just asking you to speak with me.
Give me a reaction roll. If you wish, you can use an influence skill. Diplomacy, fast talk.
I'll use diplomacy. Question, do I add my mods for my voice, et cetera, on these rolls?
They may already be added in GTA.
Typically,
You do.
Okay.
You should check your GCA file because, frequently they will already have been incorporated into whatever the current level is.
I think
it's
we
all
had
conditional.
established
It's all conditional, I think.
Yeah, so you can... are you identifying yourselves as rangers as well?
No, I think haven't put my ranger stuff back on yet.
Okay. He says, what is it you want to talk about?
No need to be alarmed. I'm half the man you are, but I do need to speak to you about some business.
Well, say your piece.
So I will come up to him and say, I am curious to know how it is you got yourself mixed up with someone like Santiddio.
You are here to take us away.
No, I'm curious as to how you got mixed up with him.
We were desperate. We needed the money.
And what and how much do you owe?
He says, it was just a mere 1,000 dragons. Enough to get medicine and some seed and food for our stock.
And how long has it been since have you made any payments at all?
You'll look at his field, and you'll see that the crops are sort of not ready for harvest or anything like that. He says, we haven't been able to make any payments yet. I have asked Santiddio for more time for my fields to produce, and then I will pay my debt.
Just out of curiosity, how many dragons did we win because of Baldur's defeating or winning the pit fight?
200 for the win.
Well,
okay.
Well, what you put in, but yeah.
Yeah, everybody was putting in
If
at
there was-
100 but me.
If there was gambling to be done, there was that on top, but the actual prize pool for winning was 200.
Oh.
Very well. So, and Do you know what happens if you choose not to pay or cannot pay?
Santiddio will call for us. We will be indentured to him. You know,
agreed
you are
to
here for this.
I understand. Have you ever had a chance to plead your case with Santiddio yet?
I have tried, but he does not wish to listen. I
Very
have told
well.
him my crops will produce soon, and then I can pay.
Yes, as I can see.
He says, please don't take us.
Stay
He
right where you are.
He will drop the pitchfork, and then sort of rush up to you, and then drop to his knees at your feet, and sort of, bows and begs and says, "Please, we do not have much. I can give you that. Just say that we were not here. Say that we were gone."
Very well. Just stand up. I need to talk this over with my companions. So at this point, we're not seeing anybody. Nobody's seeing anything on the outskirts.
No. And since it's mostly like fields and stuff like that, you've got a fair overview of the area, and it doesn't appear that someone's watching you. If they are, they're doing it from a distance.
Or they're invisible.
So I'll walk back to Balder and say, well, what do you think, Balder?
Wondering how he would react to that.
I'm pretty sure there are a few Viking proverbs about paying your debts.
Yeah. I'm trying to remember what the hell is the how does this affect what we were trying to find out?
Not a bit. Well, except to getting good with Santiddio, so Santiddio might reveal more about the whatever he knows about the situation with the settlers. But
Right.
it
So
kind of looks like at this point like he might not actually have anything to do with it.
part of the Code of Honor Northmen is honor a promise to the bitter end. So it's like this dude made a promise. So it sucks, but
I'm still.
You gonna round them up?
I'm still not entirely convinced that this is legal.
I don't know why it wouldn't be necessarily. I mean, and he did get the okay from the magistrate, as far as we know.
It is a bit harsh.
Well,
The amount is not very much, but you imagine that Santiddio and the magistrate probably have some sort of deal going as well.
Probably. Now, the other side of that is, did Santiddio misrepresent the situation to get them to agree to it?
Maybe. The guy did at least admit to borrowing money.
Well, if I were more of a generous person, I'd consider purchasing the debt from Santiddio.
I was expecting a but.
I don't have 1,000 dragons.
Nope.
I
And
suppose
don't think
Balder could be
you guys
pledged for a
combined.
number of fights for that.
outside of him giving us money that we can give to Santiddio as a down payment.
Don't you wiggle your fingers and make the crops grow?
I don't think I have that capacity.
Actually, I wonder what it would take.
I'm sure there's some like plant grow spells.
But those would be druidic, and I don't think I can dabble in druidic.
No.
True.
Now, you do have augury, though. So you could potentially know if the crop is going to yield.
Well, it doesn't really help us in terms of getting Santiddio what he wants, which is either these people or his money.
Well, if he...
You kind of suspect that he wants the people more than the money,
obviously.
because the money is relatively small.
The other thing I was going to ask was, how long would they be indentured for? Obviously, until they could pay back the loan, but and I'm sure they're only going to be paid a pittance, but 1,000 really isn't that much, as said.
The magistrate's letter indicates that they'll be indentured for a period no less than 6 months to pay off their debt.
That's not that
And
bad,
not
honestly.
more than.
So that would probably be a year.
Does it actually say? This is the player, not the character, but Pentheus is super smart, and does it actually say not less than, but does not have a end date?
Let's see. I'm going to let the universe decide that one.
How big is the family?
Husband, wife, and 3 kids, one being an infant.
So 4 effectively. That's going to be 250 dragons per for 6 months.
Someone
On
give me a
average, I
universe
suppose.
roll. Pentheus, you can give me that one. It does not indicate an expiry.
That's pretty smart, actually.
I just have a feeling that there is something wrong with this. I cannot believe this is legal. And I think this magistrate is bent.
Suppose you could take that up with the governor. Actually, the governor that we deal with, is he even an authority in this region?
No, he's not. There is a different governor in this region.
Well, we could also then throw on our ranger garb and confront Santiddio.
Yeah, but you're not going to be able to get anything out of that. He's not doing anything illegal, and we've got no authority to do anything to him.
I'm not convinced it's not illegal.
Well, I suppose you could go convince yourself. I'm sure this is standard practice.
Would my scribe skill give me any gleaning into whether this is at all
No, you
legal
need
practice?
law.
Yeah, you'd need law. I don't know what defaults to. It'd probably be an IQ -6 if there is a default.
Probably.
I honestly, I think during this time frame, slavery, indenturedhood is pretty commonplace.
Slavery is definitely legal. There are slaves. You can go and buy a slave if you want.
Yeah, law is
I will-
-6. IQ
I will
-6.
I will try I'll try it. IQ -6.
Well, you didn't miss by that much.
You don't know for certain, but you have a signed letter from the magistrate that says it's legal.
Well, gentlemen, then I think we have really no other option but to take these people in. And I could try to plead on their behalf to Santiddio.
Now you could ask them why they wouldn't just go work for 6 months and pay it off.
Well, you'd assume that their period or their grace period to pay off their debt has expired. So if they wanted to do that,
No, I mean, go ahead and go in, be indentured for 6 months, because it's only 6 months.
Yeah, but the
least.
indenturehood is it for the guy it might be manual work. For the women it might be whoring.
I don't know about that.
the women, it's possible. Whoring is certainly a possibility, but it's probably going to be like servitude servants.
Apprentice says, well, I wonder if we could then have an audience with the governor here as rangers.
I doubt the governor's gonna even care. This is a matter way beneath him, I'm sure. Unless he has some kind of personal beef with Santiddio.
Or his magistrate.
You
Or the
probably
magistrate.
get the feeling that Santiddio is on good terms with important people because that's how he does his business. Or he certainly has enough kickbacks to make sure that any shady stuff he does is overlooked.
I don't like this at all.
Yeah, it does kind of suck, doesn't it?
Gather them up, take them in. They swore an oath. Time to live out honor that oath.
Yeah, I cannot
it's
see
probably-
a way around this. I cannot see a way around this.
All right, so you gather them up.
Reluctantly.
Crouched. Sorry.
All right, so you deliver the bad news that you're going to gather them up. The guy will plead and beg, but you turn the sort of cold shoulder to him. He fights and resists a little bit. His wife comes out, please let us go, and it's a really sort of heartfelt, unless you have callous, of course. If you have callous, you probably don't give a shit.
No.
I don't think anybody has callus.
So
The husband will resist. The wife comes and fights, and then the husband says to the wife, grab the kids and run. And
No,
she'll
don't do that. Don't do that.
she will do just that. She'll grab the infant and the kids, and she'll start running. Who chases them down?
Question.
Do they run to the
this is-
back where Kurgan and Akudo are?
Sure.
Question. With regards to the warrant or whatever, was it just for the
whole family.
Okay.
So they run around the back of the house and run into Kurgan and Kudo. How do you restrain them? They're surprised by your presence there. They sort of run into you and then sort of run to the side to sort of go around you.
I'm looking at all my disads and traits, and I'm trying to figure out how he would do this.
Sick Kudo on them.
Kudo,
No.
intimidate.
Jeez.
You would say it in a very calm voice. Please do not run.
No,
I do
that's
not
what he's
wanna hurt you.
imagining himself saying. But with his IQ 9 and his berserk and all this other funny hairy business, he
looking
might not
hairy.
actually come out that way.
But he will try to come across. Please do not run. I don't want to hurt
IQ
you.
is really 9 now?
I did
No,
just
it's
make an
10.
assumption, I guess.
IQ 10.
You have bad temper.
No, I have berserk and bloodlust. I don't have bad temper.
Okay. She obviously does not listen. She, is somewhat hysterical, fleeing for her life with her kids. Baby in her arms, kids at her side.
I do not harm innocents.
You don't need to harm them to round them up. You probably just won't get Kudo to grapple, because he tends to grapple to the neck.
True.
He plays hard.
I'll indicate to Kudo to basically move in front and block their path.
He
I'll
said
come up
kill.
from behind. I did not say kill.
I heard him say kill.
How much
Get
money
Kudo
do
to
they
roll and intimidate.
Oh, God.
Because Pops there was going to offer whatever money he had. How much money did he have?
I will roll diplomacy. Can I try to roll diplomacy to say Kudo's intimidating from the front? I'm offering a way out from the back.
What do you mean you're offering a way out from the back?
As in, don't go that way. That's dangerous. Come this way. Come back to me.
So you can
I
grab
will
them.
keep you safe. In other words, giving them a better option. Would that work?
Sure. So Kudo will intimidate, and these people, they're just, run-of-the-mill peasants. Kudo's a big, scary wolf. So they will stop. They will run back to you close enough that you can sort of apprehend the mother. The kids sort of fight you off, and the mother says, "Run, Forrest, run!" And
Holy crap, he's fast. We can't catch that kid.
the kids like crying. They're all sort of crying. The baby's screaming. It's a really horrible situation. And the kid sort of takes a few steps away, runs and cries and says, "I can't." And she says, "Run." And then the boy sort of runs off. So you have the mother and her kids. There's one boy that sort of run off.
Honesty is about following the law, right?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yep, you're going to have to shoot him.
No, I failed. So in other words...
You have to follow the law.
Oh, I have to follow them.
Yeah, that's to
Conan?
resist it.
Oh, dang it. I was going...
Shoot him in the skull. You know you want to do it. Hey, I'm just the voice of his inner demon now.
So you've got this terrified kid who's bawling his eyes out. He's running away. He doesn't want to leave his family, his mother and father, but he's running. He's running across the field.
I've
Unfortunately,
got candy.
Kudo.
I'm imagining the scene in Game of Thrones where is it Rickon Stark is freed from
Yes.
is freed from what's his name?
And he's running, shooting.
he's-
You know you want to do it.
He's just running away.
I'm gonna tell Kudo to bring him back.
Oh my!
That's even
God.
better.
No.
Not dead. Just bring him. He knows not to kill.
Nice.
Yes.
Oh,
Yes,
I'm
Captain
sure,
Button.
yes.
Ramsey.
Say one broken leg being dragged through the dirt.
With the body twitching, still twitching.
Hurt him back. Hurt him back. Bring him back.
Oh, this is going south so
Does-
fast.
Kudo have any like bloodlust or anything like that?
No, he does not.
I'm going to assume because NPCs are played by the GM, the kid will try to evade Kudo. Then Kudo, because he's always been attacked for the throat, it's never like nice Kudo. It's always bad Kudo. Kudo will then he'll sort of bite the arm of this kid and sort of restrain him and begins to sort of drag the kid back. The kid sort of falls onto the ground and Kudo is, jerking the kid back from, latched onto his arm and the kid's screaming and obviously in pain and Kudo just drags the kid back.
And this is what happens when you have soldiers doing police actions.
Okay, well, once I get back, I tell the mother, do not move. I go and I get Kudo off of the kid.
Kudo, be nice.
And I tell the kid, don't run, because this is what will happen.
The kid's not
again.
running. His arms sort of shredded a bit and bleeding a fair bit.
So I will, after getting the kid, family back up, I will tend to the kid's arm, do first aid.
Well, if we hadn't won Scandaga over before, we certainly will now.
All right, so you round up this family, you tie them up and secure them so that they can't get away. With regards to how much money he was going to offer, we'll let the dice decide. We'll roll 4d6, actually. Since there's 4 of you, each of you can roll a d6.
Well, if it's 46, that tells
Times
me how
100.
much that is.
Sorry, times 10.
Yeah, I was about to say, if it's times 100, we just need to roll decent enough to it's like 1,000. It's like, dude, why don't you just pay it back?
All right, so what do we got there? 6, 12, so 120 dragons. That's all that they can come. Oh, master.
And Pentious will say, we'll take the money. I'll take the money bag.
All right, yeah, you're embracing the mercenary life, aren't you?
So you take his money as well?
I take the money bag, and I will tell Balder to start moving them back towards the city.
Put him on the cart.
Is anyone going to tend to the kid's shredded arm?
Nah, we're gonna let him bleed out.
Kurgan was already doing that.
All right, so first aid.
Now maybe that money's good for a month off.
And once the cart is underway, as Pentious is walking behind it, he's going to kind of walk back behind Balder so he can't be seen, and I'm going to drop about 300 into that bag of my own money.
It's like 1 month is 166.
1 month of what?
If you take 1,000 by 6 months.
No,
So I'll add-
1 month is 650 is the standard 1 month income. But the paperwork says that they're to be indentured for no less than 6 months. So they're going to be paying back a lot more than, their debt value.
Yeah.
So I'm going to drop, like I said, Penchus will drop about 300 coin into that bag.
Okay. All right, so remove that off your character sheet. There's now 420 dragons in the bag.
And I shake the bag and I look at the others.
I'll need the first aid roll for the kid.
That'd be you, Kurgan.
All right, you will patch up the kid. He'll be crying right through the whole thing. It hurts, it hurts. And you'll have accusations from the parents. You're monsters. You're all monsters.
No, only those two are monsters.
True. So as I put my money into the bag, I look at the others and shake the bag, and look at the others and shake the bag.
You're talking about the PCs when you say the others.
Well, I can't see you myself, but yes, the PCs. Penchus looks at the PCs and shakes the bag.
Well, how much is in there?
He's wanting more
Well,
money from you.
I've put in 300 of my own.
Let's see here. I am not selfless, so I'm not going to give you all my money. But I think Kurgan's probably going to give you every single penny he has.
And it might not,
Unless he makes a...
even if you did come up with the grand, it might not be enough. Because
I'm going to,
Santiddio has a bit of paper that says he can collect these people.
Yeah.
I have 409 GURPS I can donate.
Penchus is going to do what he can once he gets there to say, well, we brought him to you, but there's a lot of cash here that he had for you. Something like that.
Oh, look. I found 100 here under the cart. They must have missed that.
Excellent.
Yep. Here. Oh, look at that. I found another 100.
All right, so if anyone's putting into the bag, subtract that off your character sheets.
Yep.
And just type in chat how much it is you're putting in. The bag is currently 420. So 520, 620. Um,
920.
So how much is currently in the bag right now?
920.
no, there's 420 with a Pentius because there was 120.
Gotcha.
So 520, 620 in the bag.
So Pentius is putting 300 in the bag personally?
Yes.
Well, you can't let that stand, Mr. Selfless Guy.
How much is needed to get us to what we think will be enough?
You're selfless. You're going to put all your money in there. I'm totally not trying to take all your
Their
money.
debt was 1,000.
But he's going to want interest on that.
Boo! That's lame. That you wanted to. I don't want to. I don't want to make this. I don't want to give them all my money.
I'll give I'll put up 200 GURPS.
All right, so we're 820.
You can make Materius give some.
You had 400. You should put 400 in there.
But if it's not enough to get them over the interest, then does Materius have 100?
We can't take a PC's money that isn't here.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
we probably
Materius
can.
is he's sort of zoned out at the moment. He's contemplating what it was the witch was talking about.
He's going to be a monster in another week or two anyway. We'll just take his.
It's perfect time for someone to pick his pocket.
Sure, if
Yep.
someone can pick his pocket.
If it seems like there might be that additional 200, getting it to 1,020 would help free the family, Kurgan will offer up another 200.
Materius has 331.
But he doesn't like these people because he's turning into a monster.
He'd
So
surely
he'll
give
give
100.
He just needs $1. He's going to be a monster anyway.
If Materius is willing to donate 100, I'll donate another 100. So I'll do
Wonder if he's
300.
online. No.
I don't know if Materius is going to donate.
Do you want me to text Ethan?
I guess you'd have to. He's not on Discord right now.
Sure, ask him if
Because
he
he's in
if
Michigan.
he would donate. Text him while we go. All right, so you will gather these people up. I assume that you're going to use the cart then.
Yep.
So you hitch them all to the cart, and they walk behind, and you walk them back into town.
And it defeats the purpose.
Oh, you were not going to take them?
No, it's... Why would you hitch them to the cart and then pull the cart? Why not put them on the cart and then take the cart?
There's not enough room for all of them to be on the cart. It's just like a two-wheel cart, ox-drawn cart.
So you put the kid whose hand or arm
You could put the
would be
kids.
mangled.
You could put the kids on the cart. That would fit. You guys are evil. You're heartless and evil mercenaries.
I know, right?
This dude swore a promise.
From the
You need
GM's
to
point
honor
of
a
view,
promise to the bitter end.
I enjoyed putting you in this moral dilemma.
Of course you did.
Of course.
This is just
Oh.
another one of those things that why Balder doesn't have a
Oh,
particularly
right.
positive view of civilized men.
Okay.
What?
Hang on.
Okay, what? What the hell was that for?
Bernie grabs the money.
Actually,
and runs.
I need to rethink that. Hold on. Let's go with D6 minus 3.
What are you, greedy?
No, I'm enumerate.
Oh,
I don't know if I actually gave you 100.
Awesome.
Apparently,
crap,
I got
so
pretty
am I.
close, though.
How would you do
So-
that?
So I'm gonna say that how would you do that?
I
Man,
guess you
Just
could
kind
roll.
of a handful, just kind of guess. It's about this much.
I guess you could roll a d6 to see if it's over or under.
That's what I did. So I figured times 10 on the D6 minus 3, and that's what it would have been.
apparently I didn't put enough.
So if Apentius is watching all of this and they're putting their coin in, Apentius will be the one to say, yeah, that's not 100.
So
Or whatever number they wanted to give.
Appendius will correct them as he's counting it.
Right. All right. Well, if Materius pitches in, then we're just short 80 for the actual 1,000, and then any interest on top of that.
So you will continue. Oh, by the way, did you message Ethan? I guess Kurgan is away.
Still in the process, I
He
suppose.
doesn't
I'm here.
want to talk to you.
What's up?
Did you message Ethan?
I did. He hasn't responded. He has a tendency, just like with everything else, not to respond to text or anything.
Or attempts at communication of any sort.
For the most part.
Except during the face-to-face game where he sits there and chats with his girlfriend
Actually, let me see.
over the phone.
Let me check his traits. He might have some traits that.
Yeah, I was looking
Would-
at that. That's why I remembered about the enumerate, because he had that on there. No, he's got mostly combat stuff.
Yeah, so does Balder.
I think I would probably put it this way, that we are going to pitch in enough to make it work, and however that ends up.
Bernie could always make it in order.
Oh, he's not going to do that.
It could be the
Appendius
whole
could always-
reservoir dogs sitting around the table doing tips.
Apentius could fast talk. Try and fast talk
You could do
Materius.
that.
Sure, we can do that. That can be worked out by rolls. You
Now,
could fast talk
since
or
he's not here.
diplomacy.
Now, with Materius knowing me for as long as he has, are we going to apply my negatives to this, or do those kind of just balance out?
They'll balance out.
All right, I will
Straight-
use
straight
diplomacy.
diplomacy.
I will use diplomacy then.
Fast talk would have been funnier.
All right, so he'll throw in 100 as well.
All right, so I'll up mine to 300 then.
And we're not telling the family about this until we get close to where they are, to the Santiddio's headquarters.
Yeah, we're not talking to them about it.
All right, so you'll hear, the husband says, "It'll be all right. We'll be okay. We'll survive this, and we'll get back on our feet."
No, it's actually good work. Good, strong work.
He's trying to
good
reassure the
for you.
family, but yeah, you guys are just shitty people. All right,
They
so
got other kids there. You can play with the other kids.
you will deliver these people to Santiddio. Are the rest of the group? Is the whole group going to sort of front, or is it only going to be Balder and Apentius?
I think it should
Well-
be Balder and Apentius, but
Yeah, I'm kind of leaning toward it's probably just Apentius at this point. I don't know if you necessarily want to tack the rest of us onto that. Although you
Maybe
might
for
mention the fact that
intimidation?
you had help. Well, we're not trying to intimidate him.
It'd certainly be a way for all of you to get an inroad to meeting him.
And potentially gank them.
If Apentius wants to bring us all in there and doesn't think it's going to be a problem, then by all means we'll go in. But since he's the He's the boss on this one, so I'll let him make that call.
Who amongst us has other influencing skills of any kind?
I have diplomacy.
I think I'm the backup face.
Well, then I think I will take.
If you're going
Bernie
to, if you're going to negotiate, like to give this money and let the people free, diplomacy or merchant could be the skills that would be useful here. I suppose you could also
merchant
fast talk,
probably.
but then he'll realize he's been swindled later on.
Yep. I'm going to try to cast Twist of Fate on myself.
Okay,
That's
make
cheating.
your rolls.
Righto.
How does that work in a quick contest, though?
Wasn't it like a luck roll?
No, I think it was just you change a failure into a success. I guess a quick contest is still a failure.
Yeah. So it would be a success by 0, I guess.
All right, so I'm not going to try to use any bonuses on this. It's just a -2 to my skill.
Okay.
So it successfully attaches. And go to hell. But it succeeds.
All right. You are blessed in some way.
Right.
All right, so you will take these people and then you reveal that there's extra money in the pouch, right?
Yeah, I'm going to bring the people in, and then I'm going to bring the bag out and say to Santiddio, I'm going to say we brought the people, but I want to talk to you to the side here.
Wait, they managed to squeeze out the rest of what they owed.
That's kind of where I'm going on this.
Okay, so you'll take them to Santiddio's place. When you arrive, you will give me perception or observation rolls. Highest one wins.
Is that everybody?
Oh,
Or-
so who is everyone going?
I think
Or
it's
is
it's just Balder, myself, and Bernie.
So Kurgan and Kudo are staying away, and
Yes.
Danu?
Well, Kirk might not
Kirk
be able to enter again. The guards may go, "We know who you are."
Yeah, Kurgan probably is told to stay away. Helgi.
Yeah, I just want the three of us to come in.
Okay. So success by 4. Let's make it Helgi that notices. As you're sort of going into Santiddio's place, you'll lead the the cart in with the family in tow. There will be some handlers that will come and collect them and begin to take them away. As you are in this little compound area, Helgi will notice Lieutenant Lycus in the courtyard area. He is just being a dick because he's sort of sitting or leaning up against a barrel, and he has a knife, and he's eating an apple. And he will notice you guys, and Helgi at least is very noticeable. You can see that he certainly recognizes who you are. He just sits there and observes you guys. So Santiddio will come out, and you'll see that he'll be really happy. He'll come out sort of arms wide. He'll say, Apentius, well done. I knew you could pull this off.
No problem. It's the kind of work I excel in. However, I need to have a word with you to the side.
Oh? What is it?
Let's just go out of earshot.
He looks a little curious, and he walks off aside. Says, what is it?
Well, here's the thing. I totally respect that you want to get your what's the word I'm looking for? I totally understand that you want to get your investment back, but here's the thing. When we rolled up on these people, he had the money. In fact, I think he's got just a little bit more than the money. And I wanted to bring him in all the same because that's what you said, and the magistrate's order is pretty clear. But on the other hand, when I show him the bag, he's got the cash.
Oh. They had the money.
They had the money. I can fault him for being stupid.
You just totally made it worse for him.
I can understand. I can understand. They said they tried to pay it off. Maybe there was a miscommunication. I don't know. But I'm a man of my word. Here they are. But they had the money.
He looks at you, and then sort of looks across at them, and you can see that there's like a disapproving look. It's like, this is not how it's supposed to work. Yeah, this is not how it's supposed to go down. He says, may I have a look at the bag?
You absolutely can.
He looks in, and he says, you counted it?
I did. And I didn't even skim any off.
He says, do they know that you have this money?
They do.
I see. He reaches in and says, and he sort of, you can see he's like jingling the coins. He says, look, Apentius, the magistrate's letter is fairly clear. He hands you the bag. He says, keep this for yourself. Consider it payment for a job well done.
Sure. I suppose I could do that, but on the other hand, it's their money, and it's what they owe you.
All right, so at this point, he's going to need convincing. He wants to, give you the money and keep his new slaves. You will have to convince him to sway him otherwise.
Yeah. So
what's your
Apentius-
angle there?
So Apentius will say, look.
So he says, you don't want the money? It is over 1,000 dragons in there.
I see no reason why this family should have to be indentured when they've got the money and a bit more.
Pentius. I think I underestimated you.
Am I not a fair man? I brought them in as you asked. And
Everybody always
you.
underestimates him.
I'm a man of my word. I brought them in. But it's not the whole story. I see they've got money. Your money.
It means that they had the money all along. And they planned to keep this from me.
That's what I was saying. You totally made it worse.
Well, I don't understand why they would keep it from you, but the money is here. It's yours.
You are a strange little man.
People do stupid things all the time, and fear motivates them to do unwise things.
Any
And he
other man
tells
would
me-
have taken this money when I had offered it to them.
And he tells me his crop will be coming in. And perhaps there'll be a little bit more for you, too.
You see his face screws up a little bit. It's like, I don't want them to be able to pay. His face screws up and says, Will it now?
That's what he says.
So, how would you like to convince him otherwise? He takes, well, if you don't want the money, then I'll keep it. I guess I'll keep it as a down payment, and I'll still get my time out of them.
And I'm saying they've paid you fair and well. Maybe they haven't paid you the way you want to be paid, but the money's in your hands.
All right, so
Well,
give me a roll.
if you're doing diplomacy here, then there would be some give and take there. So what you might do is talk about maybe downgrading their time.
And I would say, on top of your money, he's made it clear that crop comes in, you're getting a share. And I think that's even more money in your pocket.
He says, to be honest, Abantius, it's not so much about the money.
I understand that. But
It's the principle of the thing. If people
Precisely.
think they can walk all over me like this, then I will not do well in this town.
well, I've brought them to you, and I don't think they're walking over you at all. You're getting your money and a little bit more at the end of the season.
All right, give me a roll.
You want that in the box?
Nope, you can roll it. Yep.
So I will use Twist of Fate to try one more time.
Okay.
Is that how that works? I thought you just said, if
I
it
thought
was
you just turned
a
it into
fail,
a
you
success.
turn it into a success.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you're right. That's right. So we'll turn that into a success.
Isn't it already a success?
Oh, it is a success by 2. I think I may have failed that if we take in my modifiers for voice and size.
Well, that's another matter.
He says, all right, Apentius, you must have caught me on a good day. Very well. I will consider their debt paid.
Very well.
He will take the letter from magistrate, and he'll tear it up. But you can see that he's certainly reluctant about it.
was going to say you could add for his reputation's sake that, well, we did attack their kid with a dog. I mean, we kind of beat him up.
And paraded them through Scandaga as, potential prisoners. So yeah, you could totally do the angle of, hey, people hear that, as long as you pay your debt, this dude will, honor it, and people go, oh, okay. So that could be part of your diplomacy.
So I'm gonna nod at
He takes the bag and of coin. He sort of, he jiggles it a bit. He's pondering over something. He says, "Here, Pentius, take this anyway. You have done well today. You have shown great loyalty to me."
That is a blatant inaccuracy.
I look at him and I say, "That's more than gracious and generous of you. Can I at least split this with you?"
He holds his hand up. "It is okay. Give some to Helgi there." And he says, "Who is that other with you?"
This
Come
is
up with
very-
another bullshit. Oh, damn it! I thought we could come up with another bullshit name and say,
Well,
"You can't talk either."
I can come up with another BS name, sure, but
Well, you do realize that Helgi did notice Lycus in the courtyard area, observing you guys, and Lycus obviously knows Helgi. So there was some recognition.
this is Bernie. He's one of my toughs. He helped convince them to come.
Well done. You surprised me again. Are there any other surprises that I should expect from you?
Well, I always like to at least have a backup plan. So, but no, there aren't too many more surprises.
So he says he gives you a sort of quick grin. So his face is basically the expression you see in his picture there. He gives you a quick grin, and then his face returns, and he says, "Well, carry on."
Very well.
And he will go about his business.
I walk over to the family and I tell Bernie and Balder to come with me with the family, and we turn them around and start walking them out of the area of his headquarters.
All right, so you will stop the handlers from taking the family away, and explain to them that they're to be freed. And
Tell them they weren't released yet.
Well, what I'm going to do is wait until we're well away from the headquarters, because I'm sure they're in shock.
All right, but for the handlers that are sort of taking them away, you'll explain to them that they're no longer to be taken away, and they'll just shrug and go, whatever, dude.
Yeah.
So I'm going to take the family out of the area and start moving them back up towards the farmland. What is their reaction?
They are overjoyed. The wife is in tears. The kid is in tears because his arm's still all jacked up because of the big dog.
So I tell.
Be sad. No, be sad.
But they are super grateful. What did you do? What did you do?
I tell Bernie. Berenike, I say, "Hey, Berenike, can you just, or are you back Is Balder now? Sorry, Rigel Kent, are you back now?
Yeah, I'm back.
Okay, then I go,
was able to
Helgi.
hear, I was able to hear you.
I say, Helgi, pick this man up.
Who am I picking up?
The dad.
Okay.
And I go, get this straight. I just saved your ass. And you're free to go. But when harvest comes, you better be sending some coin Santiddio's way. Or I think he'll be coming back. And he ain't going to be so gracious this time.
Yes, of course. Thank you. You're an angel. Mitra sent you. You're an angel.
And the next time you decide to hold back money from someone you owe money to, you better think twice about it.
You're trying to be intimidating. Do you have intimidation?
No. What am I doing?
You don't need
Helgi
to
has
roll.
intimidation.
Balder, throw him to the ground very roughly.
Sorry. Apinchus is just saying, yes, the next time you try and hold back money, and I'm going to look at his face to see if he doesn't maybe understand or clue into what we're doing. I don't know.
He probably doesn't. He's just overwhelmed that he's being freed.
All right, I'll change my tone of voice. So the next time, just make sure you give him a portion of your crop at the end of the season, or I have a feeling he's going to come back and he won't be so understanding.
Okay. He
Also,
just
don't borrow money from him again.
he's just super grateful. You untie them, and I guess you take them out of the place and halfway home, or at least escort them out of this place. But they are super grateful. They tell you if there's any way that they can repay you, you just need ask.
And let that be a lesson to you.
As you leave this
Definitely gonna
place,
pass on to the at least the others, at least Pentius and Berenike about Lycus if they haven't noticed him as well.
well, Helgi would have been the only one that noticed, unless you then pointed it out to the others there. As you're leaving, you'll sort of glance back into the compound. You'll see Lycus will sort of cut one more slice of apple from the apple, stick it in his mouth. Then he'll sheathe his blade, toss the rest of the apple to the ground. He's just watching you as you leave, and then you see he walks with purpose in the direction of that Santiddio went. He doesn't seem to be all too concerned that you guys saw that he was there as well. He was fairly cool, calm.
So inevitably, for Pentius, when Santiddio ends up asking, it's like, "Are you ranging?" Go, well, maybe. I mean, you got to do what you got to do, and imply that we're just as corrupt as the lieutenant.
All right. So you leave. You have most of a day left. Is there anything that you wish to do? I guess you send the family on their way.
Well, we send them on their way.
From here.
What do you
But
do with
I
the
just-
money?
I've got the money bag. I just now want to say to Balder and to Bernie. So Balder, you tell us what you saw.
No, it's just Lycus. I would have, like you said, it's sort of elbowed Berenike to direct his attention that direction. I can't really elbow a Pentius. You're too small.
Now, how did we get the information about Lycus? What was that relation to?
I had heard a description fitting like
Right. You were
Lycus
Oh.
was hiring mercenaries for.
So
A
if he
job.
didn't tell us, then I wouldn't have known who the hell this guy is.
Well, you would recognize Lycus just by you've seen him, about the traps. So as you get around doing your job, you'll see him about. He's definitely an Aquilonian soldier.
We just
Then they have
recognized him,
Still let Berenike know, yeah.
but Apentius actually knows that he's been doing side jobs.
Yes.
By rumor, at least.
Yeah, so I think we better sit down and come up with a story.
All right. That. So I don't think that actually gives us enough information about Lycus. If you remove the fact that we saw the cutscene.
Well, maybe intelligence rolls to figure out how much interaction any of our characters have had with Lycus based on the campaign.
Well, that's not going to
that's
help.
that's
here
entirely
either.
up to you. I'll leave the amount of interaction you've had entirely up to you. You
We
can
have
dictate
two
that
thi-
narrative.
We have two things that we're tracking down that are related, or at least semi-related, and that is raids that are taking settlers as slaves, and two is raids that are stealing things like the Eye of the Hawk.
Danu, was she with you guys or did she stay out?
Right, she probably would have been waiting with Kurgan.
That's up to you. She prefers to hang around Boulder because Boulder
It's awesome.
is awesome.
Yeah, you'd asked what we're doing for the rest of the day. Balder wants to find some place to just sort of relax because, he's still down 8 hit points. So he's like going to find some place with a hot bath. And
Kurgan's going to be, again, taking care of Kudo and waiting for Sunday to go to the Mass at Mitra Temple with Materius.
Pentius is simply going to say, so Danu was not with us. She was hanging back with Kurgan.
It's up to you.
that makes the most sense.
Let's say for convenience purposes that whether she was in or out, she was close enough to have actually seen Lycus.
Well, we'll do it like this. You tell her to wait with Kurgan sort of out of sight. And then you guys head in, and despite Kurgan's protesting, she sneaks off. She wants to see for herself, and she'll sneak within sight. Within sight of this place. Kurgan, you will see that something sort of riles her up, and she begins to, draw her sword, and you get the feeling that she's going to, suicide charge and attack.
I will go up to her. I'll put my hand on her shoulder and say, "Not now. What is it?"
And she cut your hand off.
She'll shake your hand off her shoulder, and she'll say, "That's him."
Who is it? Lycus?
Yes.
Okay. Now is not the time to attack him. Now that we know who he is, we can figure out how to take him out safely.
You will, she's reluctant to listen to you. She sort of spits, looks at him, spits at the ground, says something in Pictish. Were you broken?
Broken Accolonian?
Pictish.
Yeah, broken Pictish. But she speaks Aquilonian native, right?
Right, but she's reverting to her native tongue.
So I can see if I can hear anything.
No, you hear her, but you catch enough to hear that she basically spits out a curse, spits at the ground at this guy. And then she will, restrain herself and decide not to charge.
I will look at her and I'll tell her, I will help you get revenge, but now is not the time.
She says, when is the time? I will have his scalp.
When you live, when we both can survive. Now we go in there, we're going to die. But soon.
She will then, sneak back away. And you can see that she's obviously pissed. It's like she's given up an opportunity to kill this guy.
Well, now we'll tie a little red thread from Lycus to the sticky note that says raid on our clue board.
Yes, and then we can also put that string over to ambush attack at dawn in the middle of the night.
Well, we still don't. We have a potential evidence here pointing to him organizing this thing, but we still don't have the rest of the details. So we do need more information.
So the day will pass. During that time, Boulder, you're going to chill. So you go to one of the bathhouses where you will be treated to a bath with naked women. So they'll join you in the bath and they will rub down your body and clean you. You can also pay for the extra service if that's what you wish. But you will relax and you'll come out at the end of the day quite relaxed.
No, he just needs the bath. I don't know how much that costs.
I will say 5 GURPS.
It's probably a thing that needs to happen in GURPS whenever they make a world book, is there are a handful of things that you need to know the cost for immediately. A night in the inn, a bath, a drink, and probably a whore.
There is some of that to some extent.
Every world book.
Yeah. It would certainly help. I wonder if Dungeon Fantasy has anything like that.
There
is a chapter on.
Well, now there is that whole. There is the one that's all inns. I forget the name of that one or which one that is.
Be worth looking that up. But anyway, not the point now. So everyone else has a day to do something.
Kirkin's just gonna be treating Kudo and probably hanging out at the inn. He's more concerned about Sunday and seeing if he could get this curse removed.
Okay, who is Lycus Lieutenant 2?
And Kurgan would share what happened with the group after they get back. That's the guy.
Assuming we've had that discussion.
He would be the commandant of Velitrium. So, at this point, I would have to find out exactly who that is.
So he's not a lieutenant.
He is a lieutenant, but he serves under the commandant of Velitrium.
He is lieutenant to the commandant.
Yes.
All right. And assuming we've had a fair amount of interaction with that, I think what Ronnke is going to do for the evening is try to find him and hang out.
All right, give me a universe reaction roll. Oh, with the commandant? Or were you trying to hang out with Lycus?
Lycus.
All right, so give me a universe reaction roll.
Gonna be like that today.
As things would happen, despite you trying to track him down, he is unavailable. You imagine at some point, he will have to report in back at Velitrium.
So there are going to be a number of Ronnke was asking about you wanted to hang out messages for him.
Right. So you'll spread that word.
I'm probably not high enough ranked that he recognizes me, at least by face or anything, but I suppose they might have heard of us.
He would probably recognize you by face, but may not know your name. Like I said, it's up to you as to how much interaction you've actually had with him. I'll leave that completely up to you guys.
Well, let's let the dice decide. My interactions have been off and on.
So, yeah, he knows you by face. You've probably spoken a few times in the course of your job, but that's about it. He probably doesn't remember your name. The only reason you remember his name is because he's a named NPC.
Yeah, pretty much. Unless he has a personal reputation.
No. Nothing that stands out.
What about the Commandant of Velitrium?
I don't
think we've interacted with him in game.
You haven't interacted with him in game. And I would have to chase up exactly who that person is.
Yeah, we could save that for later, I guess. But if you don't know who he is right off the top of your head, then he's probably not the villain.
That's a fair call.
But that is kind of meta.
It is, but yeah, there's a rabbit hole you don't need to go down. So your day comes up with nothing. Kudo, you're Kurgan, you're attending to Kudo. Apentius, is there something that you're going to do for the day? You have
Yeah.
the better part of a day to do stuff.
I'm going to be watching my back because while I'm not paranoid, that doesn't mean someone isn't actually out to get me.
All right. So the day will pass.
What did Dan you do all day?
She would probably hang out with Boulder as he gets his bath. And Boulder would see that she's probably, oogling every now and then. She doesn't hide the fact that she obviously finds the sight of, Boulder, naked, getting cleaned up, somewhat attractive.
He's accustomed to it, and he's okay with it. You flick too hard, damn it.
But she will stay off in the distance, off to the side. But she'll hang with Boulder. And she'll probably talk about, when you get to kill this guy. But she'll say,
I'll check with
before
Ronnke.
he dies, he needs to give up the Eye of the Hawk.
I thought you were going to have her quote Mogwa's thing from Last of the Mohicans.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you need to
was
get her
that?
talking about the raid. Maybe we have more information.
Crap, now I can't remember all of it. And, before he dies, looking to take out Greyheart's heart.
Oh, she'll ensure that he dies horribly. In any case, the day passes to night, and the night will pass without event. You can drink, and if you have carousing, I guess roll. That will determine how drunk or not drunk you get. Then, during the night, I'll get everyone to make their, I think it's IQ +5 to wake up if you have combat reflexes.
I think it's 6 or 4. Whatever, it's a bunch.
So, IQ plus, if you have combat reflexes, IQ +6. If you don't, just roll IQ. What did you do with the money, by the way?
Oh, good question. I suppose I simply kept it on my person, unless, of course, the others wanted to have it distributed
Why you
amongst them.
didn't just give it back to us?
Are you kidding? No.
If you have greed, this is certainly a time where you'll have to roll versus greed.
Yeah, no, I don't have greed. So I would have redistributed everyone's money, of course.
Right, I'm looking at Light Sleeper, which Balder actually has, and I keep forgetting about it. And it says you usually wake up if there's activity going on around you, but you are stunned unless you have combat reflexes. So,
in
I
this
don't
case,
remember how
everyone
that
will
works.
wake up with the exception of Kudo.
Who, with one paw, reaches over and closes the curtains of his weapons.
Kudo, you can admit, Kudo, he's recovering from wounds. He's out of it.
I'm recovering from wounds.
So from your rooms, I'm assuming that you have individual rooms.
Yeah, how much do those cost?
It was 10 for the night.
Would he get bonuses for hearing?
No. I will get Boulder to make a reaction roll for Danu.
A reaction roll?
Yes. The roll will determine whether she's still. Oh shit! During the night, she will.
They're sharing a bed.
Yeah, during the night, she will sort of sneak into Boulder's bed and curl up under the blanket. So, yeah, she'll share the bed. You will all wake to the sound of a sort of distant scream.
What's Materius doing?
It's the sort of scream, like, blood curdling scream. Someone's like terrified.
Materius.
Materius is still sleeping.
What are you talking about? He's the
Or
one
is still
causing
in the
scream.
room.
Are you sure? He's not in my room.
Well, I don't know. Are you going to check his room? It's locked.
I ain't gonna check his room. I know he's the monster.
If
So
you
we
have
hear a
curious,
blood-curdling scream.
Oh yeah, I'm
you
grabbing
certainly
my,
have to roll if you want to be not curious.
I'm
Nope.
failing my curious. I'm grabbing my axe and shield and going to investigate.
Pentious
Barricade
is
stumbles into the hall completely naked.
Oh, Balder's completely naked too.
Pentious.
So
is not
the
naked,
screams are
but
from outside. Do you continue outside?
I do
Yes.
continue outside.
Still naked.
What
Still naked.
weapons would you have if you have them on your person?
I grabbed Banamata, my long axe, and my shield. Because they're like propped up next to his bed.
All right, so the inn is quiet. You will make your way out. You'll unlock the front door to the inn.
Nobody else in the inn is reacting?
No, they're not big bad PCs.
Yeah, I figured they'd at least, react. People like stick their head out the door like, what's going on?
They haven't woken. And it's not like, super loud. It's a little bit distant. But it's enough that you guys were alerted to it. You'll step out onto the dark street. The moon is full, I believe.
it's getting worse.
I think I have a picture here.
It is Materius. Uh-oh.
You step out onto the darkened street and you can hear these blood-curdling screams are louder, and then you hear the sort of growls of some sort of beast down the street some.
No, it's okay. It's okay. It's not a hex map.
Or is it?
Darting forward.
I will get vision-based perception rolls. You can add... so full moon is what, -5? Darkness?
Yeah, I think that's right.
So if you have
Sweet.
night vision,
5.
you can offset whatever penalties.
Yeah, I can't see a damn thing. Unless they're, lights.
There are no lights. So
There are 3 lights.
Boulder. You will see. Let me bring up this.
Damn it.
Crap.
They are not hexes. That's your imagination. Over
Well,
here.
they are kind of half blind at night, so they may imagine some hexes.
So
Hey, this is FGU. You can just hide the hexes.
I can too.
Well, Kurgan could have woken up Kudo on the way, right?
Sure.
Okay.
So over here are some stocks. And you will see, this is boulder only. You will see there's a man sort of in stocks. As you sort of approach this area, the screaming comes to an end, and you will see there's a man in stocks who is like barely alive, but it looks like he's being ripped apart by some beast. I will need a fright check.
Does Pinchas see this as well?
Nope, only Boulder sees it.
Probably got bonuses for distance and whatnot.
Well, to be honest, the person that saw it is the one that succeeded by the most. So you will see that creature feeding on the guy that's in the stocks. He's, the guy is, barely alive. He's basically being eaten alive by this creature. And the creature seems to shimmer. It's like he's there for a moment, and then you sort of blink and you can't see it. You blink again, and he's there. It's like it's a shifting, shadowy form.
Yeah, I'm
That
going back
seems
there.
bad.
Drop you all up. Interius was in his room. You can position yourselves.
Uh-huh. In his room, quotation marks. Hold on. Trying to do something really quick.
All right, so Boulder, you see this thing and you don't freak out, but
Monster!
it is definitely scary.
Damn it. Hit a double click and that did not work like I wanted it to.
I did the same damn thing earlier. I think I should have brought my pants.
God dang it, I hate it.
Yeah, it's not double click.
Right, sorry. Monster!
So it is just happily feeding on this guy, while he's stuck in the stocks. It's just like a free meal. He will sort of bite deep, and you'll you'll hear the flesh sort of tear, and the beast sort of lifts its head skyward and sort of gulps down this flesh.
There's a monster. We need to go kill it.
It does not appear to have noticed you guys yet.
Can we take evaluate or aim?
You can take as much
I'm
time as you want.
charging
This thing's
towards it.
just eating.
How close do you think we could get before we have to really roll?
Well, it depends on Boulder, who seems to be charging.
I am not bothering to be quiet at all because I failed my overconfidence check.
Take it. How close do we have to get before we roll fright check?
Size mod.
If Boulder points it out, then everyone will see it and everyone will have to make the fright check. Size mod 1.
Not in combat yet, but that's okay.
Any mods on the fright check roll?
No. Okay, so no failures.
This is going to be bad because, I'm running around naked.
I'm running around naked, and I have a sword,
Yeah,
not the spear.
2 scary naked men running at you. You're probably going to run away.
Big axe and a shield.
Hey,
That's it.
it's Phoenix Company's fun hour.
Maybe it's female.
Okay, so Boulder, you start charging, making no attempt to be quiet at all.
Plus, he's got penetrating voice, so when he goes, "Monster!" everybody hears it.
This creature will sort of, is eating this guy, looks up and looks directly at Boulder.
And Balder's going to pause and go, "Materius?"
No.
And the monster goes, "Oh!" and bugs out.
What's everyone else doing for this first turn?
I suppose Berenike is going to be charging along as well.
If we had enough time to prep, I would have already had an arrow knocked and drawn, so I'm aiming.
I don't think you had enough time. You could have had an arrow knocked, because you heard screams and stuff, but you won't get to aim because Boulder just ran.
You can
So you can use this turn to aim and take a step. Yes.
Okay, aim and take a step.
Right, I'm 14 yards away from it. If it can get over here in one round, then we know there might be a problem.
Okay, so it will raise its head to look at Boulder charging. You see it will run along the top of the stocks there.
Transforming into Materius halfway.
It jumps down, and as it jumps, it's like it does this shadow shimmer effect.
Needs to stop
And
that crap.
everyone will need to make it sort of like disappears into the shadows. Make a perception. Use the darkness penalty as before. If you have night vision, that subtracts from the penalty. You are at a further -5.
All right, so I failed by 1.
Further -5?
Yeah, so you're -5 for darkness, but you can subtract from that darkness penalty whatever level of night vision you have, and then you're a further -5.
So darkness and -5.
Yes.
Well, I failed anyway, so.
Well, that's a -10. That makes it impossible.
Kudos got night vision 5, so he's at -5. What about hearing? Does hearing help at all?
Nope.
Discriminatory smell?
It's vision.
I'm just making sure.
Alright, so we've got failures all around. Who hasn't rolled?
I can't roll. It's -10.
Okay, so Boulder, since you were closest, you will see that it sort of runs, and it's like it deliberately hides. But unnaturally. Meta, it has like the obscure
Right.
obscure trait. So it runs, jumps off the thing, stops, and then just sort of hides, and you lose sight of it. No one can see it anymore.
Well, that was a fast combat.
It ran away. That counts as a win.
Or is it sneaking up on you?
It's right behind me, isn't it?
At least at this point, it doesn't look like it moved. So it just ran and then hid.
Right. Well,
Kind of like,
that means those of us that didn't see what happened to it are probably still running toward that point.
well, everyone saw it do this thing, but you lost sight of it. It's kind of like, you see Predator sort of runs and then jumps and then stops on a tree, and then his camouflage sort of kicks in when he's motionless. That's kind of what happened here.
I didn't see it worth a damn to start with.
Well, you would have seen it when it was pointed out by Boulder.
Yeah, I would have seen a shadow.
Yeah. Or whatever level of stuff you saw it, but then you lost sight of it. All right, so
I saw a black blob move over there, and then I don't see it anymore because it's all black.
all right. You guys can all take a turn of movement if you're moving.
Yep. Oh, damn, I should have been one more. Oh, well.
Well, pick one.
Sadly, because I failed that overconfidence roll, I gotta, get my butt up there. I'm totally about to die, aren't I?
Yeah, maybe.
So, Boulder, when you get to there, you will get a close-up view of this thing. So you'll get a clear vision as it sort of comes out of its sort of shadow disguise or camouflage. It will give you a glance for a moment, then it'll run over here and then do the same again. Whoops, I didn't reveal him. So you'll see he was there, sort of where he stopped. This time he will sort of reappear. He will run under the stocks here, and then again will just shimmer out. You can make your same perception roll. You need to succeed by 5 or more to see this thing.
All of us? Or Boulder?
You can, well, all of you, I guess, are close enough to see. So same penalties as before.
I believe Seismod is going to count on that.
Yes, size mod will count, so you get a further +1.
You said it was -5.
Yes.
So, right. Need to put
Oh,
that
well, if
separate.
it had been +1, then I would have succeeded on the first one, but not the second one.
All right, so then Boulder, you would have still seen that it had stopped where it was. So in this case, you will have... Does Kudo have night vision 5?
Yes, he does.
All right, so Kudo will still see him. Bernie has no idea. Apentius has no idea. Kurgan, you will see it decloak, run over there under the stocks, cloak again, and it's moving slowly under the stocks. Obviously trying to be stealthy.
Take game and take a step.
You don't have clear line of fire through
Yeah, that's
the
what I need to
stocks
get.
there. We'll do that. What's Kudo doing?
Kudo's going to follow Kurgan.
Okay, Boulder.
Right. So I did not see what it is now because I failed that check, but he is probably going to continue to advance in that direction. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But he's not going to go the full way because he can't see it.
Right.
But if it was like before, I think he is potentially close enough to like it was before.
Yes.
Bernice is moving up and will be basically, I don't know, where is it? I can't see anything.
Kurgan.
I should be able to see it.
You can see it. I wonder if there's a way to make it visible to certain people. Doesn't matter. We will meta this. So Kurgan, you know it's there. And
So
it's
I'll
just
move up.
slowly moving under the stocks, stealthing.
I'll move up and I'll shout, under the stocks. And then Kudo will follow.
Stupid monsters.
The beast, seeing that it's not able to get away, will decloak and charge at the nearest target, which is Boulder. It lets out a fearsome growl It looks pretty intimidating. It's about the size of Boulder. I'll roll that just cause. And I think that's probably a good place to leave it. So the scene ends with this creature charging from its hiding place at Boulder.
He starts to laugh like a crazy person, because that's what Viking types do.
Yeah, I still can't see it worth a damn.
You will be able to see it when it's decloaked, but you'll
Yeah, it's
see
still dark.
a dark form.
And it's black and kind of blendy.
So you see a silhouette. You see a silhouette charge Boulder. Naked Boulder.
We'll figure it out. I'll use Baldur's ass cheeks as a reference point.
Well, he is kind of pale. Moonlight glinting off his hair and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And his body's been cleaned and oiled, so
That's right.
he's nice and shiny.
Everybody goes, looks over at Danu, and she's just like watching. She'll be in her bunk.
All right, so we'll leave it there. Everyone will get 2 points.
Yay, 2 points.
Woohoo!
Next week we die.
Are we actually playing next week? Because I know we've got some potential absences and all that crap.
So what did we have?
Androcus is out.
So it would be December
I
3rd.
think we're good for no. Next week Paul's out,
And I'm in.
but he's in.
Is Materius going to be in next week?
no,
what
he's
is
out.
So that'll be 2 out. And then what about the 26th?
26
out.
is off.
Okay.
26 is off.
I guess we'll work it out during the week whether we play this out next week. Or we could play out the combat. Now we can go overtime if people want.
I'm okay with that.
Well, this is either going to take a really long time or it's going to be really fast.
this is kind of a really good spot to end it, but at the same time, we've got all of these, so I can go both ways.
I'm thinking this is going to go a good number of it's going to go a long time.
Well, let's put it off. So we're going to be at least looks like 3 weeks.
Oh no!
Maybe we can do short, small, one-off stuffs next week. Maybe. We'll work it out.
Yeah, that we can figure out.
Yeah.
All right. Then we shall leave it here with the beast charging Boulder with murderous intent.
And Baldur's already smothered in olive oil, so it's going to be really tasty.
No, for whatever reason, stuff's going to happen. We're never actually going to get back to this. This is going to be the last thing.
The show's
Afterparty's
cancelled.
naked.
The censor's got a hold of it. Damn it!
The show gets cancelled. You never actually get to season finale.
Boo!
Mm-hmm.
Right. Well, okay then.
Naked
next week,
combat. That's got to be a first.
Is it? I feel like we may have gotten close to that at some point.
Well, it seemed totally appropriate.
All right. Any questions before we wrap it up? Any bookkeeping? Nope. All right. So if you are watching this and you have any questions, corrections, suggestions, or general hecklings, feel free to leave a comment here or find us on Discord. Thank you for watching. Olympus out.
See ya.
Bye.
How do I get out of this chicken?